Just a disclaimer, okay, this video contains spoilers for FNaF 3 the game and a special character for the FNaF movie. Haven't seen yet in the trailers, just letting you guys know so you guys won't be mad at me. I want to get paid by YouTube, give me my money, okay, bye!
It's time. The moment we have waited for has finally come. In less than a week, what we have desired for 9 years is finally happening. The Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I actually talk about this movie pretty casual whenever I'm in public, but deep down in my head, I always get as spastic and excited as a kid in a new toy store. I lost my mind the moment I saw the first trailer, and now we are here, with multiple trailers, standalone character videos, and a game that was dropped out of nowhere to reveal a very special character that I don't think anyone was expecting. In this video, I plan on discussing my predictions for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, the direction the story will go, and how things will turn out in the end. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, grab your snacks and please stay in your seats. The show will begin right now.
Stop the cap! Stop the cap right now! Stop the cap!
The FNaF movie is going to have an interesting selection of characters. Mike Schmidt, aka Michael Afton, played by Josh Hutcherson. Stephen, aka William Afton, played by Matthew Lillard. And Vanessa, played by... Elizabeth? Nope, we are not opening that can of worms, moving on. And Abby Schmidt, played by Piper Rubio. Now, this lineup does bring up a few questions regarding the possible age difference between Michael and Vanessa, and Vanessa also working as a police officer definitely caught me off guard a bit, but the thing that confuses me the most is Michael's sister, Abby Schmidt, a character that has never existed before in the previous media of the franchise. Now I know what you're thinking. You loser, Michael probably gave his sister a completely different name so it could still be Elizabeth. And you do make a fair point, random viewer, except there's something that throws me off. I want you to take a look at Michael and Vanessa. These characters have an accurate resemblance of their counterparts from the games, with matching hair color, hairstyle, and skin color. While Abby does match in the third factor, Abby isn't blonde and her hair is short instead of long. If Abby is supposed to be Elizabeth, then how can you explain this? The main factor that made me think otherwise, though, is the age difference. Elizabeth died in the days where Michael was a stuck-up teenager who was repressing killing his younger brother. Michael, in this movie, looks to be an adult at his age. So what is going on here? In fact, Michael looks like how old he should be when he's about to go to the bunker that leads to Baby's rental where he gets scooped out. Can't be after that since the guy looks just as alive as anyone else. So with that information, that's why I think Abby isn't Elizabeth, so on to the next bit. The animatronics were always having me on edge before any of the trailers released, because I was so scared to see how they would look. I pretty much knew that the FNaF 1 animatronics were going to be used as a base, but I had no idea how they were going to look in the final product. But when the first trailer dropped out of nowhere, I was blown away. The accuracy to almost every detail while having minor changes to grant better texture worked in almost every conceivable way possible that I can imagine. Other than making Bonnie purple, I wouldn't dare change a thing. The amount of work done by the Jim Henson's Creature Shop was very well worth the suspension. As soon as I heard that the creators of the Muppets were going to be making these characters, words can't describe how tense I was while waiting for the next update. The animatronics all look the exact same as the original counterparts, but look to have a very satisfying fabric for the texture of the shells. Freddy has a more detailed bow tie. Bonnie is blue, even though I prefer him part. Chica looks far more realistic while having a living Mr. Cupcake as a sidekick, which, no matter how hard he tries, he just looks goofy and cute, not gonna lie. And instead of Foxy's pants being outer shell, they are just real fabric pants that droop around his legs. I love these designs very much to the point where they are perfect in my opinion. Now let's cover the main and final topic of the video, my predictions on where this movie is going. A lot of people have theorized what the plot of this movie will be about. That's right. It's time for my own personal game theory, or film theory in this case, but let's just say game theory to be more traditional, baby. This movie may seem like a new story concept at first, but if you're someone like me who indulges in stuff this franchise produces like a hungry hippo, you would notice that this movie already is sharing ties with two alternative works that revolve around FNaF 1. Let's get the obvious out of the way. In this movie, William goes under a different name to hide himself from his bad reputation as Steven. Where have we seen this before? In FNaF The Silver Eyes, where Willie goes as a different name to hide himself. Sure, they look very different from each other, but the point is that the same basis is being used here. Not to mention in The Silver Eyes, William wears a Spring Bonnie suit to hunt down the people in the pizzeria, and what appears to happen in the movie trailers? William doing the exact same thing. But I don't think this is just going to be a reimagining of Silver Eyes. I think this movie will be a collision of Silver Eyes and the FNaF 3 minigames. Notice anything about Spring Bonnie's design in this movie? How he's withered, yes, but while also having a missing ear. The exact same ear as in the minigame. Also, if you watch the trailers, you might notice a key detail that the animatronics on attack mode are barely seen together. We just see multiple shots of them individually, but never often do we see members of the gang in the same room together. And I think this was done on purpose. The FNaF 3 minigames contain the animatronics getting killed individually, one by one. I believe that in this film, William will be performing the same strategy. After all, the footage suggests the movie will have multiple nights. And seeing how Vanessa isn't feeling too good on the bed, that's a first if you catch my drift. I am an actual child. Those nights aren't going to be too friendly. Last and least is most important detail that supports my theory. I'll give a warning once more. If you haven't seen the special trailer from Freddy in Space 3, or you want to beat the game like I did and you want to earn the right to watch it, then link in the description. Then watch the video and come back when you are done. Thanks for watching. Love y'all. But if you don't care, then brace yourselves. You have been warned. Twice! So I better not see any whiners in the comments. Out of nowhere, Scott Cawthon returns to the community with a new game of his. This was very satisfying to experience, but we aren't here to talk about his new troll game. Link in the description if you want to see my initial playthrough VOD. Trust me, this game is unlike anything you've experienced from this franchise before. Once you beat all the levels, including the extra boss fight, Scott gives you a link to a secret movie trailer. Now, this trailer by itself isn't that special. It shows a bunch of monitors with a bunch of previous trailers, with an extra Spring Bonnie scene at the end. But if you pause one of those monitors, you see a very special character on one of them. And no, it's not the puppet. After 7 years in the shadows, ghosting the fanbase, Shadow Freddy has finally returned. Instead of resembling withered Freddy, however, he now has a design of FNaF 1 Freddy. This, however, can be easily explained into why this supports my theory. In the FNaF 3 minigames, we already discussed the animatronics being killed separately, but how did they end up there to begin with? You guessed it, they were all lured by Shadow Freddy into the back room. And what further ties these minigames in the movie together is Shadow Freddy's design. If you notice the FNaF 1 Freddy and Shadow Freddy sprites, they are identical in the FNaF 3 minigames. This proves that if Shadow Freddy is in this film, he would have to be identical to Freddy. It's why they both shared a model in FNaF 2 along with Golden Freddy, matching them as well. How I think the movie will play out is that the animatronics will be taken out individually night by night from being led by Shadow Freddy, and William gets spring-locked by the end. Well, that's what everybody suggests anyway. Now, what will come out of Golden Freddy, the human characters, and possibly the puppet, we'll just have to wait and see. And now, that's where this video ends. If you don't believe my theory, you're free to share your opinion in the comment section. I'll be sure to check them out because I love hearing individual opinions. But please, don't comment any leaked info I haven't mentioned. I want to be surprised by a few things at least. Thank you so much for watching. My next video will be the movie review, so be on the lookout. Take care now. Love y'all.